going to go out there to destroy Joe Stevenson. That's my goal. I'm going to show him why I'm the favorite.
I am not the underdog coming into this fight. I'm upset that everyone thinks I'm the underdog, and I'm going to prove them wrong.
I think it is my time, to fight for that belt. I want to make a statement, though. I have to make a statement with this fight. I need to take Joe Stevenson out.
I'm here to be the UFC champion and to prove that beating Kenny puts me closer to that belt.
When I walk out into that arena, it's going to feel like home. After 15 months, I'm back home.
I'm coming to beat Randy Couture and to take my belt back to Minneapolis.
I've been around for a long time, both in wrestling and mixed martial arts, and I don't believe I've ever been broken physically or mentally, and I don't think that's going to happen tonight either.
I'm not here just to, hey, I got a title shot and I'm here to do my best. No, I'm here to win. I'm coming to win.
People again are counting me out and thinking at my age and with the physical stature of my opponent that I don't have a chance. And so again, I think once again I get a chance to prove them all wrong.
This is UFC 91, Couture versus Lesnar, presented by Gears of War 2, only on Xbox 360. Sold out inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena for the big one here tonight. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He is the most beloved fighter in UFC history. 3-time heavyweight champion, 2-time light heavyweight champion, a Hall of Famer here in the UFC. He is Randy the Natural Couture. And tonight at 45 years old, he returns after a year layoff inside the octagon to take on a colossal challenge. The most physically imposing man ever to enter the octagon, a superhuman, Brock Lesnar. My partner is always Joe Rogan. Randy Couture is back.
Yeah, man, Randy Couture is back, taking on the freakiest guy to ever enter the octagon. I mean, a gigantic super athlete who has world-class skills, 275-pound former All-American champion. But if anybody's gonna beat him, that's the man right there. Captain America, one of the craftiest, most intelligent fighters to ever enter the octagon, who has a great game plan for everyone. He's gonna need it against this beast, a 275-pound super athlete with gigantic lunchbox-sized fists.
Well, fans, you can be heard. You can text us either A for Couture or B for Lesnar to 8822 and let us know who you believe will win tonight's main event for the heavyweight title. You can vote online at UFC.com. It is #1 for Randy Couture, #2 for Brock Lesnar to 88222. Our text voting brought to you by our friends at Tap Out. So we've got a battle for the heavyweight title and a battle in the lightweight division to find out who gets to battle for the title between Kenny Florian and Joe Stevenson.
Yeah, that's a really excellent matchup between two very evenly matched fighters with very similar skill sets. Both guys are excellent grapplers with very good striking. Kenny Florian has really become become a student of Muay Thai over the past few years since we've seen him in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and we've seen his Muay Thai skills grow in leaps and bounds. He was always an outstanding jiu-jitsu fighter. Joe Stevenson, a fantastic wrestler with a vicious guillotine choke. He's got some crushing submissions and very good boxing of his own. An excellent matchup.
It indeed is a magical night here in Las Vegas. Inside the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena, Randy Couture, Brock Lesnar for the heavyweight title, and a couple other good heavyweights on the card tonight as well.
Gabriel Napao Gonzaga, a top heavyweight contender, a phenomenal black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a heavy-handed striker, taking on two-time All-American wrestler Josh Hendricks. First time in the UFC, but he is on a 10-fight winning streak.
Our rules of the Octagon are brought to you by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. 3 judges will score the bout duration 3 5-minute rounds. Tonight's main event of the evening is scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect, with the round winner gaining 10 points, his opponent 9 or less, based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. Man, it's great to be back home in Las Vegas. MGM Grand Garden Arena. Tonight's UFC 91 is available in high definition. We begin in the middleweight division with one of the most popular members of the original Ultimate Fighter cast. Nate "Rock" Quarry looks to hand Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion Damian Maia his first loss in the UFC. Quickly establishing himself as the dean of UFC Jiu-Jitsu fighters, Damian Maia has been unstoppable in his 3 bouts in the Octagon. But he has yet to taste the thunder from the fists of a fighter like Nate Quarry.
He wants to make this a ground war. First off, he's got to get past the hands, and he's got to get past the hips. He's got to take me down to the ground to make that happen, and I'm here to make that not happen.
He got good hands. He got good stand-up, but I'm prepared for that. I'm training stand-up, so that's not a big deal.
After 2 dominant wins in the UFC, Maia needed someone to push him harder. That challenge came in August from Jason McDonald. And though the Canadian battled Maia tooth and nail in one of the year's best ground fighting displays, the Brazilian emerged victorious once again. Tonight, he hopes to stay unbeaten against hard-hitting Nate Quarry.
I'm really hungry, you know. I'm really hungry about winning all the time. I want to be the best in my weight division.
When Quarry returned to the UFC in 2007 after nearly 2 years off due to back surgery, many wondered if he could regain the form he showed in earning a world title shot in 2005. He answered those questions emphatically with victories over Pete Sell and Caleb Starnes. And tonight, he looks to make it 3 in a row when he meets up with Damian Maia.
I need to keep this fight on my feet. I need to rough him up. I need to make this a brutal war, something he's never seen before.
Mixed martial arts career, he is truly a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. All 3 UFC wins have been by submission. All 3 times he has been awarded Submission of the Night honors.
Yeah, Mike, he's one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artists to ever enter into the Octagon. 2-time world champion, Pan American champion, Abu Dhabi champion. I mean, just phenomenal tactical fighter on the ground. But his stand-up is not the best in the world. And this is where Nate Quarry can exploit the fight. If Nate Quarry can keep the fight on his feet, he has a very good chance to win this fight. But if the fight goes to the ground, a distinct advantage will go to Damian Maia. Very technical, very sharp, just finishes the majority of his opponents and he gets in trouble.
Born and raised in Sao Paulo, Brazil, you saw Vanderlei Silva in the background there. He has trained a lot in preparation for this fight with the Extreme Couture crew. With Randy Couture, his good friend Vanderlei Silva. You know that they've been working on his stand-up. He doesn't want to trade with Nate Quarry, but maybe he can do enough to enable himself to take this fight down to the mat.
Well, he's been saying that he enjoys standing up and that he likes standing up, but I don't know if he's saying that to try to lure Nate Quarry into false sense of security and then take him down. If he's been training training at Extreme Couture, I would imagine he's been training a lot on his takedowns. That's where, make no mistake about it, that's where he wants his fight. He wants his fight on the ground with him on top. But if he even winds up on the bottom, if he pulls guard, very dangerous guard.
I eat, train, sleep, eat, train, sleep. I came here to Las Vegas to get ready to fight. After the fight, he says he'll enjoy the city. One of the most popular members of the original Ultimate Fighter cast, a longtime training partner of Randy the Natural Couture during their time in Gresham, Oregon, Nate "Rock" Quarry comes back into the octagon and wants to look even better than he did against Caleb Starnes, and I say that because he brought it to Starnes, but Starnes obviously ran away in that battle in Montreal.
Yeah, a very unfortunate fight, but let's pretend it never happened.
There you go.
You see that shirt that he's wearing, Nuvasive Creative Spinal Technology, and he's wearing that because they fixed his back.
Yep.
Nate Quarry had some serious back problems. He had bulging discs, and he had it operated on, and had this little spacer placed in between his two discs, or in between his spinal column, and really fixed all of his ailments and all of his problems. Since that, he's looked fantastic. Looked great in his knockout of Pete Sell. I mean, that was just an incredible, almost like a movie war, where they were trading back and forth, and both men dangerous, both men hurt, both men knocked down, and eventually Nate Quarry wound up winning by knockout. He's got big hands, and his original place of training was Team Quest, so you know he's got really good wrestling and really good takedown defense, which is going to be huge in this fight. Very heavy hands. So what he wants to do in this fight, make no mistake about it, he wants to keep this fight standing up. He wants to avoid the takedown, land those big bombs, and take Damian Maia out.
He says there is not 1 ounce of ring rust. He is ready to go, and he wants to put on a big show tonight here in our first fight of the evening. Our tale of the tape for this first fight tonight in the middleweight division is brought to you by the only motorcycle that's worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. Nate "Rock" Quarry, the American, 5 years the elder of the Brazilian Damian Maia, who is unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career. Everything else virtually identical. Now, to get this night officially started, the veteran voice of the octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 91, presented by Gears of War 2. And now, it's time to begin our first bout of the evening. 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a perfect professional record of 9 wins with no losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Damian Maia! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. A mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 16 wins with 2 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Gresham, Oregon, Nate "Rock" Quarry! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. First fight of the night in the middleweight division. The beautiful Ariani, our entire crew. Glad to be with you tonight. UFC 91, our main event. Randy Couture and Brock Lesnar. Quarry and Maia ready to get it started. Our fight clock brought to you by BSN, the world leader in physique performance and energy supplements. Southpaw stands for Damian Maia, blue and white trunks, black trunks for Quarry.
One of the things Quarry talked about in the pre-fight, Mike, was the importance of his footwork. And Damian Maia immediately pulls guard here, and this is a dangerous spot for Nate Quarry. Because even on his back, Damian Maia is very dangerous. He's working half guard here, and he's got a hold of Nate Quarry's body, and now he's on top. This is terrible for Nate Quarry. Early in the fight, neither guy is sweaty. There's a lot of friction, so Damian Maia can really control Nate Quarry on the ground here.
Joe, a beautiful indirect takedown by Damian Maia there.
He immediately moved to mount. This is death.
Not a good start for Nate Quarry.
Especially early while he's fresh.
And
he's
now,
rolling over.
Oh, man. Trying to avoid rolling over, trying to get
Giving
back
up his
up.
back, though. The level of
this is not
jiu-jitsu that
good.
Damian Maia has, you can't make the same mistakes you make in the gym with training partners and get away with it. Unless you're training with world champions, you're not going to feel this level of technicality.
He's got the body lock in. He's going to try to loosen up Quarry and finish with the choke.
He's got the body triangle in, holding Nate Quarry in place, and what that is to make sure that Nate Quarry can't turn into him and wind up in his guard. There's a real bad spot for Nate Quarry very early. And slowly he's going to sneak that left arm across Nate Quarry's face, under his chin, and try to get in that rear naked choke. If you see him grab a hold of his hands, and there he's got it, he's slowly digging that underneath the chin. He's going to slowly pull it across. Nate's doing a good job so far of avoiding it, holding on to the gloves, pushing the arms away from him. He's trying to turn into him, but that body triangle is keeping him from doing that.
That's the key, the legs right now, to controlling the position.
And especially if he can roll him over on his stomach and have that body triangle in, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Nate Quarry's back.
You see the tattoo, Sierra, his 8-year-old daughter, Nate Quarry's on his back. He doesn't want to see this, though.
He's got it underneath the chin now, Mike. This is bad.
This is
He's
big
got
trouble.
That's a wrap.
It is all over. Damian Maia by rear naked choke.
The versatility of Damian Maia's jiu-jitsu game is that he can, when he grabs a hold of a guy, instead of trying to put the guy on his back, he can drop to his back and just use his technique, use his sweeps, eventually wind up on top. And that's what we saw here. That is top of the food chain Brazilian jiu-jitsu right there.
Our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Now watch the technique here, Mike. Okay, he's already got him onto his back here. I thought we were going to show the sweep in the beginning. Just immediately takes his back. It's so precise the way his legs move. There's no space there. Gets that body lock on him, and as soon as he got that triangle on him, Nate Quarry is just stuck in that position until Damian Maia can figure out a way to get that arm under the chin, and once he does, Quarry forced the tap.
Another perfect display of what jiu-jitsu is all about by now 10-0, Damian Maia with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 13 seconds in the very first round. Declaring the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Damian Maia!
2 minutes and 13 seconds is all it took for Damian Maia to win for the 4th time in the octagon. He will visit with Joe Rogan.
All right, I'm here with the winner, Damian Maia. Beautiful display of very technical Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Was your strategy coming into this fight to pull guard and sweep him like that?
No, I never have a strategy when I come to a fight. You know, I just come and fight. Stand up, ground, doesn't matter. I like to fight, like I said, I'm hungry. I'm hungry to make the people happy and put a good show to the audience.
Well, you put a good show on indeed. Now, you are undefeated so far in the UFC. What would you look for next? Are you looking for a title shot next, or do you feel like you need a few more fights before that happens?
It's up to Dana White, Joe Silva, and all the guys. You know, there's many tough guys that I can fight. I like to see Michael Bisping, maybe it's a good fight for me. You know, let's see.
Absolutely, that'd be a very good fight. Congratulations on your victory. We look forward to seeing you again. Damian Maia, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely tremendously talented is this 31-year-old Brazilian, Damian Maia, who wins for a 4th time inside the octagon by submission. Maia defeats Nate Quarry as we get things started here tonight inside the sold-out MGM Grand Garden Arena. UFC 91, Couture versus Lesnar is being brought to you by Gears of War 2, only on Xbox 360. By Bud Light, the difference is drinkability. By the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson. And by Punisher Warzone. The Punisher has been reborn in theaters December 5th. Later tonight, it is our main event of the evening for the UFC Heavyweight Championship as Randy, the Natural Couture, returns to the octagon to take on Brock Lesnar. Earlier tonight, Captain America, Randy Couture, arrived here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. He is absolutely thrilled to be returning to the Octagon tonight and expects to leave with the belt remaining around his waist. His opponent tonight, Brock Lesnar, arrived here a few hours ago as well. Undoubtedly, Brock Lesnar is the most physically imposing fighter to ever enter the Octagon. Our main event for the UFC Heavyweight Championship is later tonight. And next month, right back here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, it's the ultimate finish to 2008.
It's the biggest fight card of the year with 2 titles at stake as UFC light heavyweight champion Forrest Griffin defends his belt against unbeaten #1 contender Rashad Evans, coming off his devastating knockout over Chuck Liddell. And the Ultimate Fighter coaches square off in a battle between 2 of the world's best heavyweights when interim champ Antonio Minotauro Nogueira faces former heavyweight champ Frank Mir. Plus, 2 of the hardest-hitting fighters in the game go toe-to-toe as Quentin Rampage Jackson takes on Vanderlei the ex-murderer Silva in a light heavyweight slugfest. The most stacked card of the year has been saved for the end of it. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 92, The Ultimate 2008. Live Saturday, December 27th from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Only on pay-per-view.
As you look inside the locker room of the UFC heavyweight champion, the Hall of Famer Randy the Natural Couture, he is very confident that even at 45 years old, that he continues to improve. And when you talk about game planning, nobody is better at breaking down a fight than the heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture. Inside the locker room of Brock Lesnar, he is back at around 280, 285 pounds now for tonight's fight. He will try to take Randy down and beat him up early and walk away as the new UFC heavyweight champion of the world.
Our main event later tonight here from beautiful Las Vegas, UFC 91, presented by Gears of War 2, only on Xbox 360. Speaking of heavyweights, still one of the most talented and dangerous fighters in the UFC's heavyweight division, Gabriel Gonzaga looks to continue his rise back to the top as he battles talented newcomer Josh Hendricks.
Josh Hendricks' MMA career has shown him to be equally dangerous on the ground or standing. The same description could very well apply to highly regarded heavyweight contender Gabriel Gonzaga, who will look to offer a rude welcome to the UFC newcomer tonight.
He's a new blood inside the division, and I need to show my skills on top of a new blood to keep winning and to get my next title shot.
Gabriel Gonzaga is a very highly ranked opponent in the world, you know, and a win over him would basically send my career into the stratosphere.
Hendricks, a 2-time All-American wrestler for Ashland University, comes to the UFC unbeaten in his previous 10 fights, with all but one of those victories coming in the first round. In fact, the highly touted Mansfield, Ohio product has not lost in over 3 years, a streak he doesn't plan on seeing broken tonight.
This fight's going to be 2 guys running into each other, you know, like 2 bulldozers running into each other, and it's just going to be a test of wills. I will win.
One of the heavyweight division's most gifted athletes, Gonzaga has the size, power, and skill to beat anyone in the heavyweight division. Still just 29 years old, Gonzaga is approaching his prime as a fighter, and if his dominating first-round submission victory over Justin McCauley in July is any indication, that could be bad news for the rest of the heavyweights in the UFC.
I don't have nothing against Josh Hendricks, but he's the next in line. I need to win this fight. I'm going to step inside and win this fight.
Josh Hendricks, born and raised in the Buckeye State. Born in Denison, Ohio, fighting out of Wadsworth now. The interesting thing is Hendricks is set to make his UFC debut, Joe, is that he actually spent 2 weeks here in Las Vegas training with Randy Couture, trying to mimic Brock Lesnar for Randy Couture, but yet he gets to fight before our main event here this evening.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, he's as we said, he's a 2-time All-American wrestler. wrestler who has very dangerous hands. I spoke to his agent, Ken Pavia, before the weigh-ins, and he said, I'm going to tell you this right now, this kid is going to come in and he's going to knock Gonzaga out in the first round. That is his prediction, and if he's trying to do that, that's going to make for a very exciting fight, because we know Gabriel Gonzaga has heavy hands, heavy kicks, and a great ground game as well. You see that ear? That's the ear of a wrestler, my friend. You only get that one way, the hard way. Two-time All-American, and again, undefeated in his last 10 fights. Very tough guy, a newcomer to the octagon, but he's got a lot of experience behind him.
That ear may be nastier than Couture's and Henderson's.
There's no ear nastier than Couture's.
Fair enough, he'll be there later.
He's got a gerbil living in it.
Josh Hendricks used to manage 18 apartment buildings in Cleveland Heights, Ohio. He nearly gave up the sport because he needed to support his wife and his little boy, but then John Cook of Evolve Sports Performance came and said, I want you to train and I want you to run my gym. So now he's able to focus full-time on a UFC career that begins tonight, and he enters the octagon on an 11-fight win streak. Josh Heavy Hendricks. Considers one of his heroes none other than Randy Couture and his grandfather. He said, who is the finest man he has ever known. Big challenge standing in front of the man, Heavy Hand Hendricks, who has not fought in nearly a year. His opponent has fought for the UFC heavyweight title. Gabriel Napao Gonzaga, born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, now training at his gym in Ludlow, Massachusetts, will always be known as the man who neck-kicked Mirko Krokop and sent him tumbling to the mat overseas.
Wow, what a devastating knockout that was. He's one of the most dangerous guys in the heavyweight division because of the fact that he carries such unbelievable knockout power. And on top of that, he also has a world-class ground game. I mean, really world-class. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, you know, Abu Dhabi champion. He's just a fantastic fighter. And again, at 29 years old, he's still got a lot of potential. Came into this fight very heavy, over 250 pounds. I believe he was 255 at the weigh-in. So he's been putting on bulk, and it's not fat. He's been training powerlifting and doing a lot of kettlebell training and really working on his strength and conditioning. He was doing very well in his fight with Fabricio Verdum until he wore out. Verdum got on top of him and wound up stopping him. And he's been trying to correct that problem in his endurance.
In the fight against Randy Couture, down the road at the Mandalay Bay at UFC 74 for the heavyweight title, he actually broke Randy Couture's arm. So he had done some serious damage to the natural before falling to defeat in the early parts of round number 3.
Yeah, that just shows you how tough Randy is. He broke his arm with a kick, and then Randy punched him in the face with that same broken arm.
Verdum caught him in the clinch. He couldn't get out. I know he'd like to have that one back, but he looks to, again, as I mentioned earlier, move his way back to the top of the ladder in this very crowded and talented heavyweight division. Josh Hendricks is standing in his way. Heavyweight matchup here tonight. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley Davidson, the Brazilian, 3 years younger than the American. And there you see, Joe, as you mentioned, Gabriel Gonzaga weighs in at officially 256 pounds. He will have a 2-inch reach advantage. Once again, with our official introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC bout is sponsored by Zenergy, powered by Zions, the great-tasting, sugar-free premium energy drink. And now, 3 rounds of fighting in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a wrestler holding a professional record of 18 wins with 4 losses and 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 238 pounds. Fighting out of Wadsworth, Ohio, Josh Heavy And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record of 9 wins with 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 256 pounds. Fighting out of Ludlow, Massachusetts, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Gabriel Napao Gonzaga! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee. The debut for Josh Hendricks against the very experienced Gabriel Napao Gonzaga.
I miss Mazzagatti's mustache.
You know what? I'm not sure if I like it. Fight Clock brought to you by BSN, the world leader in physique, performance, and energy supplements. Big men battling inside the octagon here. Blue trunks for the Ohio kid, and the Brazilian in the black trunks, Gabriel Gonzaga.
Dirty boxing for Hendricks. Gonzaga hits him with a big right hand.
2 big, strong men going at it here early. Remember, it was the clinch of Fabricio Verdum that gave Gabriel Gonzaga problems in his loss in
Body shot
Newcastle.
by Gonzaga.
And again, you can hear it, Joe. You hear the thud.
Yeah, just vicious power by Gonzaga.
Fight the hands. Fight the hands.
He's got a hold of his head here.
Hendricks.
The weight that Gonzaga's put on, Mike, is really showing it. It's not fat weight. He looks considerably bigger than his octagon debut. And I'm sure he's thinking, oh, big right hand. Hendricks is down. That's it.
It is all over. Gabriel Gonzaga, the victor. Wow.
You know, that's one of the things that separates Gonzaga from a lot of the other Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. He's just as dangerous on his feet.
Joe, take a look at our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Knee to the body here. And here's a right hand on the button. Hendricks drops. Gonzaga hit him once and looked to Mazzagatti. He's like, come on, he's done. Mazzagatti let him take one more punch. You see him look up. He stopped the punch, actually. Looked up at Mazzagatti. You want me to hit him? Mazzagatti said yes, and he hit him again.
And that was it. The fight ends quickly. Gabriel Napao Gonzaga, the owner of another huge knockout. That is a mean-looking dude. Our Bud Light replay. Josh Hendricks defeated in his UFC debut. Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 1 second of the very first round. Declaring the winner by TKO, Gabriel Napao Gonzaga.
Took only 61 seconds. Big right hand. Night over for Hendricks. Victory for Gonzaga. Here's Joe.
All right, I'm here with a very happy Gabriel Napao Gonzaga. Vicious first round knockout. You must be happy with this, and this has got to move you one step closer to another shot at the heavyweight title.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm work hard to this. I wanted this title shot again. Next time, I'm gonna get this belt back. Okay, thank you very much.
Now, obviously, you have your eyes on the title and the title fight tonight between Brock Lesnar and Randy Couture. What are your thoughts and what are your predictions on the main event of the evening?
It's impossible to give it some predictions for that, but Brock Lesnar is a young blood. Maybe he can do it, but I cheers to Randy.
Okay, choose to Randy. You heard it from Gonzaga. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you again. Gabriel Gonzaga, ladies and gentlemen.
A hammer of a right hand. 1-2 fight over. Gonzaga victorious again here tonight. We just talked about that heavyweight title fight. Gabriel Gonzaga says, all right, maybe I choose Randy. How about you around the world? Text voting available all evening long, courtesy of our friends at Tap Out. An expression of combat known worldwide, available at tapout.com. Don't forget, Randy